What's up, y'all? It's Truth Tiger, and I'm going to talk today about community, and I'm going to talk about organic communities and organic communities that form naturally, organic friendships that form naturally. That is dead, that's destroyed, that's been destroyed, and the system has destroyed it. And essentially what the system and the Matrix wants you to do is they want it to be that you have to go through societal institutions to have friends. You have to go through societal institutions to have social connections, Think about it, because you go to school as a kid. What's that? It's the system. It's the Matrix. It is a societal institution. And that's where most of your friends, or all of your friends, are going to come from pretty much. If you are a child or a young adult, they're going to come from elementary school, middle school, high school, college, whatever. That's where your friends are going to come from. And if you are outside of that for whatever reason, now you're going to have a lot less friends. And as someone who didn't go to college or university, or I went for a little bit but not for very long, and I went later on, in my more like my early 20s. As someone who did that, I realized there's a lot of friendships that I missed out on because of that. And if you're not following the system and doing what the Matrix wants you to do, you're going to miss out on a lot of friendships, Another big way the Matrix tries to control this is through religion, is through churches, through religious institutions. And it's the same deal, if you want to have a community, you have to join one of these religions. And they will hold that hostage over you to where, it's like you have to have this artificial kind of community. You have to be artificially marshaled together with people through the education system, through religion, whatever. I mean, just think about it. The military too. That's another big way for people to make friends. And a lot of people will join these organizations and will become involved in this stuff for friends and community. It's a lot of people's motivations for getting involved in this stuff. Same with all of the political activism and all of the people that are involved in these whatever protest groups or whatever. Same with all of that. And they're doing it because it affords them the opportunity to make friends. That's not necessarily people's only reasons, but it's a big reason. And I know if you're younger, it's like if you want to fit in, you got to be liberal. Or if especially living in an area like I live in, you got to be liberal to fit in with this kind of group. In some places, you got to be conservative to fit in. But I noticed that a lot. If you're younger, if you're in university, you got to be liberal to fit in. You got to conform to the system. And if you do not conform to the system and you have different ways of thinking than these people, you lose out on friendships. You lose out on community. You do. You really do. Oh my God, I got a bicycle in front of me. This guy is pedaling his heart out. And he just, now he's going on the sidewalk. But yeah, the thing is, when you reject this stuff, like I have, it puts you out on an island. It puts you in a very lonely place, and most people will turn their back on you, or they will become just so draining and toxic and annoying, and to where you don't want to be around them because they are detrimental to you. And when people hear that you don't conform, that you don't trust the system, they get very upset about it. I remember when I was around maybe 17, 18 years old, I was at my friend's house. His family was very liberal. I was more conservative, and I forget what we were arguing about exactly, but politics. And I remember when I told them, like, look, honestly, I don't trust any politician, liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, whatever. I don't trust any of them. That made them more mad than me being on than me being a Republican. That made them more mad. And I don't even say I'm a Republican. That's just how I tend to vote. You know, politics does not define me. But because I was not willing to sort of play their game and I questioned the premise, that really made them mad because they really trust the system. And when you start thinking like that, it makes you into an outcast, you know? I've had several conversations with liberal type people, and when I tell them, like, I'm not even involved in this stuff, I'm not even going for any of it on either side, they get the most upset because, you know, they want you to participate. Even the people who are your quote-unquote opposition or who have opposing ideas, they want you to participate in the game. They want you to participate in the system. And when you don't, that really disturbs them. It disturbs them big time. It really does. And, you know, they have destroyed organic, traditional communities. And this has been happening for thousands of years. This is not a new thing. Nothing new here. This kind of crap's been going on forever. And it's to where, like, ideally, I could just be friends with somebody and there wouldn't have to be all this ideological alignment or anything. And I've made friends with people who are liberals purely because they like to argue with me. I had a coworker like that, and that was the basis of our friendship, is he liked to argue with me. And it's like, when you step outside, and I mean, I'm serious, it's like, they would rather you be against them than just, like, not even play the game, you know? And it's very weird, but, you know, traditional organic communities have been destroyed by this stuff because, you know, you think about, you have a neighbor, you have a friend, you want to come together as friends and neighbors, you want to help each other out, you want to hang out, whatever. And now they're saying, like, it has to have a premise that's based on the system. You have to all be hanging out to root for the local sports team. You have to all be hanging out because of political agreements. You have to all be hanging out because of whatever, you know, but it's something to do with the system that they're going to put in to get people gathered together. And they really make it hard for people to gather together just to be like, all right, you're here, I'm here, let's just hang out, let's talk, let's whatever. You know, let's just be friends. Let's support each other, help each other. Let's be good friends, good neighbors. And they don't want that. They want us divided, and they want us thinking in a societal way. And, oh, someone just cut right in front of me. Whatever. They want us all having this societal programming running in our head, and it's like everybody is running Windows and I've got Linux, and because they're all on Windows, now I can't even connect or relate to them. You know, they just have this whole different kind of code and operating system running on them, and it's like, because I've got a different operating system that I've chosen to have, now it's like they don't even relate to me. They can't see what's up, you know. And when you really look at it, it's like all social communities are governed by the system and are created by the system. All ways the people gather together, it has something to do with the Matrix. You know? I mean, like, for real, it really does. Like, if you really think about it. And, I mean, people can hang out with hobbies. I'm not saying that you can't form groups that are not based around the system. I'm not saying that organic communities can't come up, and I'm not saying that people can't have organic friendships. They can. It's a big part of what I'm trying to do with this channel, and I am going to do some stuff in the future to try to have community building and things like that. You know, community building is very important, and to build community outside of the system, outside of the Matrix, but for the vast majority of these communities, it's the Matrix, it's the system. It's all about gathering because of religion, politics, we're all rooting for the same sports team, or because we're from the same country, the same this, the same that, whatever. People have these, even culture on a lot of levels is the Matrix. And I mean, there's things about culture that are not the Matrix, but even people saying it's cultural commonalities and whatever, on a lot of levels, even that's the Matrix. And that's like saying, people are saying, because I have these commonalities with someone, then, I want to gather around those people. And I mean, I understand that, like, having commonalities and stuff makes it people, you understand people better, whatever. I get that, but even that is just like, it's the system, We should all be able just to hang out just because we're people and, from the love in our hearts. Because we're people and we want to, do good for a fellow and we want to help each other out. And we should have community like that. But because of how the system is, we don't have community like that. And you realize when you get outside of the system that, like, man, you really lose connection with pretty much everybody. You lose friendships with everybody. Because you don't want to conform to societal thinking. You don't want to do the same things that everybody else is doing and think the same way that everybody else is thinking. And societal thinking, the Matrix thinking, it's degenerative. It's destructive and degenerative, and it's based upon evil. And it's based upon lies and greed and deception and manipulation, and it's extremely manipulative and extremely deceptive, and all kind of lies are what this is built on, And to participate in that will degenerate yourself and will erode yourself and will erode your soul and erode your mind, erode your connection with God. And I mean, really, so it's like, am I going to choose that? Am I going to choose that so I can have this fake community, these fake friends? And that's really what it is. It's all fake in the end of the day. A lot of these people you think are your friends, 90% of them, more, 95% of them are fake. They're not really going to be there for you when you need it. And when you go through changes, they will not be there for you anymore. And you realize that a lot of this also is like, they're trying to take and not give. And you also realize it's like you have, when I had a lot of quote unquote friends, I realized I had people who were around me, but in terms of people who really liked me for me, they didn't like me for me at all. They liked me for who I was in the Matrix. They liked me because I had certain stamps on me. I had certain marks on me. I belonged to certain groups or a certain group, and because of that, they wanted to be a friend. And once I left those groups, they did not want to be a friend anymore. And it's just the reality of it. It's just the reality of it, And it's unfortunate, but it's like, I want people who will like me for who I authentically am, not who the system says I am, not because I am in this religion and believe this politics and have this and that and whatever, and I like this sports team and whatever, I want people to be my friend because of who I am deep down. I want people to be my friend because of the love I have in my heart and because of the truth that I carry in my mind. I want people to be my friend because of that. But most of them do not want to be your friend because of that. They want you to represent something in the system. And look, a lot of people just want to be your friend if you're up. If you're up, if you're doing cool stuff, if you've got cool stuff going on, then they want to be around you. But if not, they don't want to be around you anymore. They're just trying to ride your coattails, get whatever little bit they can. And, I'm not trying to be negative when I say this. I'm just speaking the truth. I'm just putting reality out there. Because this is the truth. And, I think at some point, like, we had, organic family structures. And when I say some point, I mean some point like thousands of years ago. I don't mean like, and maybe back in the day, like, back in the 50s or whatever, maybe there was more of this. Maybe there were more traditional organic communities. And when I say traditional, I don't mean like old school religious or whatever. I just mean like people coming together as a tribe, people coming together as a group, people just like looking out for one another and just like being friends and being chill and just coming together. But you can't do that anymore because you have to go through societal institutions. And it's always been this way. Be with the societal institutions or be totally alone, And not totally alone anymore, but you have to go outside, out there in the desert by yourself, and you have to build up your own crew. You have to build up your own crew of people, and you have to work on it and work at it. You do. You really do. And you got to find those unique people and those people who are like you. And, I want to end this video on a positive note, and I want to encourage people to build organic communities, of friends, and to meet new people, and to try to meet new people who are outside of the matrix, and to try to, build these organic communities, and to build these organic communities that are not based around any agenda of the matrix or any agenda of the system, but just based around love and kindness, just based around being decent to one another, just based around the fact that if we come together, we can do more than we could do as individuals. We can have more fun. We can build better things. We can have better ideas. We can do better things by putting our heads together. We can, get more done by putting our hands together. We can. And I want to encourage each and every single one of you that's watching this to start working on building organic communities. And you're not going to find it in the system. You're not going to find it in anything that comes from societal institutions. You're just going to find conformity. And because we all conform, we might as well all hang out. And, yeah, that is what you are going to find. But the Matrix really is holding community hostage, They really are. That could be an alternative title of this video, is they are holding community hostage. And you have to have these fake artificial communities where you are all conforming to some kind of thing. Some kind of thing that is not natural for humans to do, which none of this crap is, really. I mean, me driving in my car and going to some office and, because I work in a box, and then I get in this box, and then I'm going to drive home to my apartment, which is a box, and I'm going to stare into a box, which is my TV, and you know what I mean? None of this stuff's natural. None of this stuff is natural at all. And we build our communities, and we build our friendships, and, we forge our connections with other humans based upon this unnatural crap, and it governs that, and it holds that over. And really, connection with humans is a very natural thing. It comes from us just being good with each other, us just being cool, That's what will give us connections with other humans. But most people believe in the system and conform to the system and are about the system. So because of that, it's like if you want to access the majority of people, you got to go through the matrix. You do. And I'm saying F that. I'm going to find the people who are getting out. I'm going to find the people who are sick of it. And we're all going to come together as our own organic community based around love and kindness. It's what I want to do. But yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you all so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you all. God bless. And, oh, geez. Oh, boy. Guys, coming close to me. But yeah, the Truth Tiger is out, and I will see you all next time.